What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2 of Track Talkers.
Hangtown Round 2?
I love it. I can't wait to get into this. We have a very special guest on the line. Rides on a Kawasaki, right?
Number 70.
Oh, we're giving it away. We got to hype him up a little bit, though, Ty. The 2011 65cc FIM Junior World Champion, 2015 125cc European MX Champion, 2017 he was the first Spanish rider to win a motocross Grand Prix in the MX2 class. In 2018 and 2019, he wins the MX2 Championship back-to-back. And in 2023 and 2024, he won the MXGP World Championship. Welcome to the show, Jorge Prado. How's it going, dude?
Hello, guys. What's up? Happy to be here.
Dude, we're happy to have you. Dude, talk about some serious accolades. Oh my gosh. When I was like researching your past and how much you have done in this sport, it's absolutely incredible. But let's get right into this thing. Speaking of accolades, you are a two-time MXGP champion. I'm sure you had some offers when back last year to kind of stay back, maybe work with your old team or move to a new team. Coming over here to the States, was it like a dream to come over here? Was it a business decision? Was there more money over here? Did you see more of a future? What was it like to have to make that decision, and what went on behind the scenes?
Well, I think it all started when I was a little kid, and I actually grew up watching James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael battle on Supercross. So that was my childhood. So I was not watching really the World Championship, but I was watching Supercross. And my dream has always been to come over to the States and ride Supercross. I came for the first time in 2015 after winning the European Championship 125. I spent a couple of months here with the Troy Lee guys. And that was my first experience racing. Well, not racing, but riding Supercross tracks, and I loved it. Then I obviously went back to Europe and started my MX2 career. The plan has always been to actually come over to the States, but I started racing, I started winning GPs, and I kind of got settled there. I had a big for me, it was very important to have a little bit of stability and build myself as a rider. And I thought in that moment it was better to stay in Europe.
Yeah.
Plus, my goal has always been also to kind of race with Jeffrey Herlings. That was one of my big dreams too.
Yeah.
So he was in Europe, so I couldn't move to the States if I wanted to beat him. So I stay in Europe. I think that was a good choice looking back as well. I think I experienced many different types of dirt, different tracks, different racing, different countries. It's so different. So it's, I think it was good. It was fun. I got, like you said before, 2 MX2 titles and then 2 MXGP titles. So, I mean, so far my career is going super good. And then going back to when did I really think to come over and make a decision to come over to the States, it was pretty much in 2023 already. Beginning of 23, after a rough 22 season, we just switched that year to the new frame on the KTM, and I was not happy with the bike, and I thought at that point my only option was to come over to the States and ride something different, right? So,
yeah, totally.
But contract-wise, I couldn't, so I had to stay. We developed in those 2 years a better bike, and then I got my 2 titles. So then. In the beginning of 24, I signed already with Kawasaki.
Yeah.
And to come over and race for the States. And I also did in 24 the first 4 races of the AMA Supercross.
Yeah.
Just to
that
see
was cool.
if I liked it or not, just before signing. And at that point, again, I got offers from many different teams.
Okay, so I guess the question that I really wanted to ask you was like, are you able to make more money here, or were you actually leaving money on the table by not going back to MXGP?
Well, First of all, like,
or is it pretty much? Is it
my
pretty
decision
close?
wasn't because of the money to come over.
Totally.
That was, I really don't care about that because I love racing. So I just do it because I love the sport. And I'm in a position where I don't need to worry about the money. So I just love riding my bike, and I'm like, okay, I just want to ride different tracks. So for that reason, I came over, right?
Yeah,
so,
totally.
And experience racing supercross. We don't have that in Europe, so it's cool. And going back to your question, hard to say. Like, it depends. Here, I think you can make more money here if you do good. So if I would be winning now, then I probably make way more money. But at the moment, I think similar, maybe a little bit more still, but not crazy, not like the double. You know what I mean?
Totally. Absolutely. I know in the States, we were actually talking about this a little earlier. It's just like, it's crazy how much money and how heavy it is at the front end of the pack. If you are winning and you're able to get it done, you can make a lot of money, and a lot more money than even the guys in 10th, even 5th, whatever that might be. But let's roll a little bit forward, Jorge. We got some good results so far this season. We went to Paula. We got a 7-6. Hangtown this weekend. First moto didn't go exactly perfect with the 12th, but we did end kind of on a high note with that 5th place overall. What has been your expectations? We know you only got 3 weeks on the bike before coming into the season. What was your expectations for round 1 and round 2? And how have you had to kind of adjust to your expectations to, I don't want to say make a more realistic one, but just a closer goal to where you want to be?
My expectations are to win. And still now, every time I go to the gate, I only think about winning, even though it's maybe hard because I don't feel 100% with the bike. But still, I'm not going to the gate thinking, oh, we'll be good if I'm 5th, because I'm totally not happy. When I see when I put in a balance my capability of riding and how my performance, it's like I could be battling, to be honest, for wins. That I'm there, but I just don't have the tools right now to make it happen. So it's hard for me mentally because I know I can do it, but I just can't show it because I don't have right now the right setup. But we are working on it. I mean, it's not easy. I've never ridden a Kawasaki Outdoors before. I started riding a Kawasaki Outdoors 4 weeks before Pala. So it's hard to make and build a setup in such a short time. But we are doing our best. We know clearly where we need to work on. So the team is trying their best to make me happy. And, I keep working like always. And as soon as the bike will get better, you will see a different Jorge, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things is we started with your accolades at the beginning, and we've talked about it on the show. We know that you know how to win. And the other thing that Tyler and I both talked about as well is like, you're a multi-time champion. These first results are not speaking to who you are, and to, we really don't think that, and from what you've said, it's going to hinder your confidence. You know you can do it because you've done it in the past. Now, with that being said, just to give the fans kind of like some insight watching the show, how long did you develop the gas that you, 2 or 3 years to be able to win that MXGP championship? And you only focused on outdoors, and now you've really only had 4 weeks on the bike outdoor to get it right. Like, take us through what it took in the past to get a bike right to win the MXGP championship.
So, going back in time, coming into the 22 season, we had a new frame with a new engine and just a new whole new bike from the Canadian group. So, I think, it took that whole year. And then in January 23, we got I think it was like almost December 22. We got some upgrades on the bike. We tried some different stuff, and that was working way better. And then some more stuff in the beginning of 23, and then all that year, we kept working and we made the bike better. And then I got my first title. And then when I got back last year from Supercross, they had some new stuff also in the suspension to try that I really liked. And so it basically took one whole year, to be honest, to get it somewhere right, to be able to win a title. And then last year, I really felt comfortable with the bike, and that took that other year. So, like, it takes time. It takes time.
Yeah, and that's just focusing on outdoor, right? That's not Supercross and outdoor, because you have two different settings. That brings me into my next question, Jorge. I'm not sure if what the limitations are, what you're allowed to say here, but how long are you with Kawasaki, and with how long it took you to get the gas right in the KTM group and get that bike right? What is your plan going through the future, and what would you like to accomplish in these next coming years? Do you have more of a schedule of like, hey, I know how long it took to get that gas right and win that championship. I'm with Kawasaki for so many years, and I think this is what it's going to take, and this is what I want to accomplish in those years.
Well, to be honest, I don't have now the time to wait. I don't want to wait 2 years.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm trying to be realistic, and I'm in my prime of my career. Coming from winning 2 titles in a row. I mean, I can't be now settling for P5 because we are not making improvements. So, and I'm not going to allow that, because I'm training hard, and my results will show it once we figure it out. So, if I hope my team gives 100%, and I'm sure they are now doing their best. But this is racing; we need to speed up. I don't want to wait. For me, if we can get it right next weekend, let's get it next weekend and not in 3 weeks. I want big steps to happen, and they know that. So we are all working hard, but I don't really have the time now to wait 2 years for the bike to be good, because it's losing time, and I don't like to lose time.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a fan, dude, I love the way that you're talking. I love the outlook that you have. You definitely seem like you want to win for sure. I definitely want to bring up something that's been an interesting factor on the broadcast a little bit, and I think it's been something that's been argued in motocross in general, and that's choosing between the paddle tire and just running the regular 34. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of guys are like, dude, I can run the paddle and make it work on the rest of the track. We see Tomac choosing to use the paddle a lot now. And then we heard that, and I don't know if this is correct, but the broadcast said you ran the 34 for the second moto. I don't know how long you've been running the paddle. What's your outlook? One, I guess, on our paddle that we have in the United States, because it is a little bit different than the one you guys have over in Europe. And moving forward, what's your thought process on choosing between the tires?
I mean, I think right now here in the States, I could be the most experienced rider with a paddle, because I've been growing up riding paddle tires. So since 85. So I know exactly how the paddle works and the limitations, plus the positives, which are a lot in many occasions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a tire that I feel like if you don't have the right setup, makes it a little bit risky, right? So for me, for example, in Pala, I just rode a 32 just because, the normal tire, just because I was not comfortable with my setup. So I was like, I don't want to risk it, and I want a little bit more safety.
Yeah.
Even if the bike is a bit slower and it's not so good out of the turns or out of the start, but I'm safe out there. But for example, this weekend, I thought like my setup was a little bit better. So I raced both motors with the paddle. So So yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the paddle, especially for the starts.
Yeah.
But I guess also if the setup is right, you can use it in multiple occasions.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk to you a little bit more bike setup, because I'll tell you one thing. I rode Hondas for a long time, Jorge, like as my career got started, like a long, long time. And then I obviously switched to Twisted T Suzuki, and I had a very hard time at the beginning getting used to how different the Honda reacts to everything versus how the Suzuki reacts. And one of the things I caught myself doing was like comparing the two bikes, right? It was like going, oh, well, my Honda did this so good. It did that so good. And I was trying to find something on the Suzuki that the Honda was doing. And then after a certain amount of time, I realized that no matter what I did, it's not going to be my Honda. And I have to figure out how to make the Suzuki work good as a Suzuki. And that was one of the biggest things that I had to get over, testing and trying to figure out that Suzuki and developing that bike for me. How has that been for you developing the Kawasaki? What are the things that you've been learning and trying to, I guess, make better and almost communicate in a totally different language? Because the Gas is a completely different bike than the Cowie.
Yeah, I think every bike has its positives and negatives. I think the Cowie has a good base. I think right now we don't have a good setup.
Yeah,
we are working on it, but I think the base of it's pretty good. And I think as soon as we get a better setup, the bike will feel very good. So, some things engine wise, it's easy. You have power or you don't have power. So it doesn't matter if it's a Kawasaki, if it's a Honda, if it's a KTM, it are things that are like that. If it's pulling forward, it's pulling forward. But
I like that.
Suspension,
I like that a lot.
But suspension wise, I know what you mean. Every bike, it's different. And every bike, when you get to the bumps, reacts different. I was very impressed with my bike in Hangtown down the hills. I was super fast going down. I could pass everybody going down. Every guy I catch, I would always pass them down the hill because my bike was just so stable going down.
Yeah.
But then in different parts of the track, I was just struggling with a little bit, bike setup. So, but going back to what you were saying, I sometimes coming into corners, I would think, okay, the Gazas would maybe kick me, and the Kawasaki doesn't. Maybe in other parts, the Gazas would be a little bit lighter feeling, and this one is a little bit heavier. So it's it's different. It's obviously a different bike, so we need to work on getting using the positives of the Kawasaki, and then trying to work on the weaknesses to make a very competitive bike that I think it's possible. I think the Kawasaki, it will be a very good bike once we find out the right setup.
Yeah, I definitely think so as well. I've seen a lot from the Kawasaki, especially in Supercross, that I really, really liked watching. But yeah, Ty, did you have a question for him?
Yeah. Hey, Jorge. So we just got done with Hangtown yesterday. You drove back to Irvine, California today. And so what's your week looking like with, the amount of work you want to put in and you want to get the bike better? How many productive days are we going to see during this week where you're going to be ready for Thunder Valley next Saturday? Are we going to be putting in 2 days of riding, 1 day of testing, or, 2 or 3 days of testing and then having your motos mixed in? Or, what's the week looking like, and how much work are you able to put in and fit in a week to get ready for next weekend?
Well, I think something you just mentioned is very important, and it's productive days. Yeah. And here, sometimes we don't have really productive days. It's hard because of the amount of riders on track and preparation. So we are doing our best to find the right tracks in the right time to make progress, right? Sometimes you can go to a track and you have 200 riders on track and the track preparation isn't right. And if you do some testing on that, you may go in the wrong direction. So we also need to be very clever with our decisions on testing. But I think with my experience, I kind of know, okay, today it's maybe not the day. Let's stop it and do a different work, right? Maybe today it's a day to put some training in, even though the bike's not perfect. But at least we don't want to go in the wrong direction. So I think we need to be very clever with the next riding days, especially if we do testing, that we will do. So right now, I would say the main focus is on testing, making the bike better. It's very important for me. And like you said, if I have some time in between testing, putting some motos in, if I find like during testing, like, okay, now the bike's feeling a little bit better, just do a moto just to put some time on the bike, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard because when you're testing, you kind of stop, and it's you're putting time on the bike, but it's not real training. So it's it's a pity right now that I'm in this situation, because I would have loved to just keep riding and keep getting better and more comfortable with the right setup. But we need to find that one. We need to find the right setup. So we need to work on testing, and hopefully we have a productive week coming up. So 2 days of riding, and then we will have press day. And see how it goes on the weekend.
Yeah. And then, with that being said, I mean, me and my brother are very familiar with Southern California. So like, what days have you seemed to get like the best productive days as far as like racing similar situations? Like, did you guys have a good day? What would be last Monday?
Paula. Did you guys rent out Paula?
Were you part of the group? And how was that day?
Yes. Yeah. So I think, in my point of view, we had, since I started riding, I would say I went to Club MX for 4 days. And I think we got good testing there, because they have sand tracks. So I actually told my team before we start the nationals, we need to ride sand and see where we're at. And then we got a lot of information there too. So
nice.
We did some good testing there. Then they have also outdoor tracks. So we did some testing, and I think it was a productive week. Very good. And then after that, we got the best day would have been last week, this week on Tuesday after the race at Pala.
Yep.
They ripped the track. They water it good, and it was very similar, let's say, to race conditions. So it was a very good day of testing there. That's where I got a little step on my setup compared to Pala. We did it on Tuesday, and this weekend I felt a little bit better. So I would say pretty much in 4 weeks, or let's say if you take this one 5 weeks, pretty much the week of Club in 1 day. That was productive.
Yep.
In my point of view.
Dude, I guess the question I want to ask, what's the feeling you're looking for on your bike, dude? Like, what are you searching for? Are you searching for something at the end of the moto? Are you searching for more speed? Are you searching for the thing to just go straight under power? What are we searching for? Are we even allowed to say? If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it, but I love that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's what I like and what I don't like. And I like a fast bike. I like a lot of power. And because I like to play a lot with the throttle. So if I don't have the power, it's hard for me to be creative on track too. Yeah. So I like that sharpness in the engine. And I need also a bike that it's kind of like that you can hop around, but at the same time that you have some reserve so you can hammer the bumps if need to. Yeah. So that's, a playful bike and with a lot of power. That's my preference, but it's not always easy.
No, it's not, because what we've learned in riding dirt bikes is there is a yin to the yang. If you get something good, usually something bad comes along with it. So it's hard to find the balance all the time. Jorge, we really, really appreciate you being on the show. We appreciate your time. We have just a couple more fun questions for you. We try to ask all the riders that are on the show, but I don't even know if you even know what these things are. Okay, after the race, would you rather go to and have, like, this is cheat meal talking, would you rather have McDonald's or Taco Bell? Or none?
I can't eat that stuff.
Okay, there you go.
No.
Okay, just straight no.
I would never ever eat that. Not even on holiday.
I love it. Oh, the thing is, a lot of the riders say Taco Bell. It's like always Taco Bell. Okay, this could even be off season.
I wouldn't even go there if they give it for me for free or if they even pay me. I wouldn't even eat that.
Okay. I love it. Okay, so if you had to, because obviously your culture is way different, but would it be a cheeseburger or pizza?
I mean, you guys, oh my goodness.
This is as about as American as it gets, huh?
So cheeseburger is that
He does, my guy,
but not from a chain. I mean,
no.
I would rather
This
go
is
to
no
like
chain.
So it's like a proper cheeseburger, like with a good meat.
Yes.
Not with like that bad meat.
Yeah.
Grass-fed, perfect beef. You know what I mean? Whatever you wanted.
Then it's maybe a good option. Yeah, a cheeseburger.
I love it. Okay, well, what's your go-to favorite meal? Let's just go with that.
Good question. Well, I think some serrano, jamón serrano, like Spanish ham.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite starters. Because I normally have like a starter and then like a main course every day. So I would eat that. And I love Spanish omelette. It's with potato and eggs, and it's super good. Then I also love the paella.
Okay, yep.
Seafood.
Yep. Wow, some great options right here. I mean, Jorge, we're coming over to your house, bro. You're going to cook us up some gourmet meals, my guy.
I know. And I then for the races, I normally have Solo.
Okay.
From Frinsa. It's one of my sponsors.
And
it's like very healthy cans of chicken of protein. It's actually protein. So with how you call it? It's like cans of chicken, or it can be also seafood, but it's all protein and it's super clean. And I always bring that stuff to the races because I know I will get enough protein in my body, and I will not have any struggles with my stomach or anything because it's super light.
Yeah.
Because they don't put any weird oils or stuff to make it. I don't know. It's just super clean and healthy. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, and race day is always, I feel like I was always sensitive on race day.
Yeah, I mean, your
nerves are high.
Me too. I've been always
like,
very sensitive, and that's why since I've been working with them, I only eat that at the races. Nice. So I know I'm not gonna get sick. I know I'm not gonna have any troubles, and that's it. Easy.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Jorge, we look forward to seeing you at Colorado. We look forward to seeing you at all the rest of the races. I know you're not, obviously from your vibe, I know you're not super stoked on your results at these first rounds, but we have definitely been happy with how you've ridden, especially coming off this shoulder injury, only having 3 weeks on the bike. I think you are definitely a potential winner and champion over here in the United States. Like I said, we love watching you. We love having you on the show, and good luck this weekend in Colorado.
Thank you guys for the interview.
Heck
cool time with you.
Heck yeah, you know it. Well, we appreciate being on Track Talkers, and we'll talk soon.
Yep. Thank
Peace.
you guys.
Bye. Dude, I thought,
I didn't even know that you were going to go there. And I was like, dude, you better not ask him fucking what fast food restaurant. And this guy just gave, I would never.
You know what's
ever.
Hey, you know what's funny though?
What?
You know what the best part about it is? Michael, are you there?
Oh yeah.
The best part about it is that Jorge would never. He may have never even tried fast food in his life.
Bro, 100% not. Did you hear what he is eating?
That's what I mean. I love it, dude.
That just goes to show you that
how different our culture is.
Not to bag on United States, but bro, that dude, Spanish people, they're clean. I'm going to have a little appetizer before my meal, every meal.
Yeah. I love to Anton. We asked him if he would have a cheeseburger or pizza. And he was just dude, what kind of cheeseburger, bro? Are we talking a processed cheeseburger?
Yeah.
You know what? I can't even remember what he was eating, dude. Like, do you remember the names of the stuff? I've never even heard of it.
I've heard of a few, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
But they're like all Spanish dishes. I know that's for a fact.
Dude, we're going to have to go check that out, bro. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be super healthy, dude. You're going to see Deuce. I'm going to drop 30 pounds next week, bro, just by eating what Jorge Prado eats in a week, dude.
Oh, for sure.
I love it. Oh,
I'll say that's been my biggest like question when it comes to him coming over here is like, how is this? And I know that's such a stupid, like we asked him this last year when he was coming for those first few.
Yeah.
And like some fans were like, that's the stupidest question. And like, I get it. You know, like that does sound dumb. Like, oh my God, what's he eating? He's eating food just like anybody else is. But dude, like they were cooking everything. Could you imagine trying to find a grocery store that has what you want?
Michael, he has a sponsor that they provide him like canned like chicken and canned he called it seafood, but it was like canned protein. He was calling it canned protein that he eats during the day, and that's what he brings with him every single race day. So
no matter what,
so we don't know the meat because we just don't know the meat.
Yeah, he doesn't know the meat, and then he doesn't know the oils and everything that everybody's getting. You know, it's getting cooked with.
Yeah,
so,
dude, it's wild. It is like with him going through that, and to do that. That's a level of dedication to that where you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Your whole life changed. Like, well, I remember when my wife and I moved to California, you know, and like anybody that knows if you move a couple states away and you have to find out like, what's your new grocery store?
Right.
But they're all the same thing. Kroger and Albertsons and all that. They're all the same parent company. It's all the same labels. You're just figuring out how the aisles are laid out and where's your shit at.
Yep.
To have to relearn every label and like, what's this cut of meat? Because cuts of meat over here are completely different than cuts of meat over there.
Yeah.
Same name, different thing.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. It was just, the whole thing was wild to me. That whole interview opened up so much more info about Jorge Prado, who he is, why he's like that.
I have to say something. Dude,
What?
he is pissed right now.
Oh, yes. My guy, Jorge Prado.
was insulting him, and I felt like in the beginning because he's like, dude, like.
Yes. He was insulted by my question.
Yes, Jorge is a goddamn champion.
Yes.
And
like,
he wants to be on top so bad right now is what I got from this interview.
Dude.
Like, he wants to be first next weekend.
Jorge Prado is going to win, dude. I'm serious. After that interview.
Hey, bro, it's either he's going to win or
something's going to happen where he's going to end up winning.
Yes.
Like, Anton, his mentality of how he wants the bike and how he wants to win right now.
Yes.
And the tone in his voice that he wants to get it done is exactly what you want from any rider.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kawasaki better be pulling out all the stops because the way Jorge Prado was talking, dude, that's the exact way I'd want my rider to talk.
100%.
That kid wants to win, dude.
He has to be that. You know, he has to be a goddamn killer if he wants to beat Eli Tomac and Jett Lawrence.
And he believes it.
Yeah.
He did not stutter, dude. Not even once. Did he?
Yeah, no.
It was like, yeah, dude, I'm here to win.
I know.
That was it.
Yes.
And it was commanding. And it was different than the other interviews that I've seen. Didn't it feel different?
I mean, yes and no.
I don't know. It just felt like he got to really like, yo, I want it good and I want it good now because I'm going to win. You know what? It felt like that in Jorge's Prado humble words, not my words, but the way he put it was, that's a champion right there. You better watch out.
Mm-hmm. He needs what he needs.
And it sounds like if he gets it, he's going to get it done.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's get right.
That ego check's got to be weird. You know what I mean?
I don't think
I'm gonna.
It didn't even seem like an ego check.
Like, hey, I have. No, like that is what. No, but like in a reality, like big picture, it is a reality check for like, yo, dude, you're not winning all the time, and you were just winning all the time.
Michael,
so get comfortable with not winning just for a minute, so you're gonna relearn how to win. When you win again, you're gonna appreciate it even more. You're gonna really learn everything. Go the KTM stuff that he'd been on forever. It's the same stuff. Like, yes, it was changing and all that, but like he's gonna learn how to win different.
This is the thing though. Like, I don't think his ego and his confidence is wavered at all, because this is why. Like, we racers do this, okay? If this was the best that Jorge felt and he got fifth,
He'd be bummed.
Then he would be bummed, and then we're worried about something. But right now, he knows he's riding shitty, and he knows the bike is not where it needs to be to be at like the level he wants to be and the level that he felt winning those championships. So he's not worried about him not being fast enough yet.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he shouldn't be, because he's not 100% Jorge Prado yet on the Kawasaki.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a tough road to get there.
Maybe ego check is the wrong word.
Yeah.
But just like situationally, dude, again, to reconfigure your everything. I mean, even if he stayed on the KTM, he wasn't going to have the same bike that he had over here.
Yeah.
Nope.
But like, hey man, you really got to take a good long look at how bad, like exactly like what you guys are saying. How bad do you want it to have to go through not having it for a little bit in hopes you're going to get it again? Or you could just stick with the status quo, stay over in Europe, just keep pounding it out, just keep hitting those Lommel training motos, keep riding in Spain.
Yeah.
Or do you want to push yourself to the next level? That is a big like, hey man, I'm going to really, really, really learn what the fuck is in me and how I'm going to do this. That's impressive.
And
he hasn't even started that yet.
Yeah, and he sounds like he's willing to do anything and everything that it takes to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool.
For his sake, I think after Colorado, I think Kawasaki and him need to go to Club MX or go over there to get more productive days. Because with him only having basically 2 or 3 productive days in the last 5 weeks, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's honest. I'm not worried about it, because after the way that Jorge Prado was talking, he knows what it takes to get it done, and he's going to do what it takes to get it done.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And I think he has a good platform on a Cowie to get it done. I think that Cowie's a good bike. I just think you have to tailor make it to Jorge Prado, and it's going to take a little time, right?
Tailor make it.
Right?
Yeah. You
gotta make it for him. And clearly the setup that he likes is something that they're not as familiar with.
I wouldn't say as familiar with. I'm just saying it's going to be, I'm just saying it's tough to get anybody happy.
Yeah. Especially a guy that knows he's going to win when he gets it.
Yes.
Right. All right. Well, let's get into some hot topics. Pride Month post by Supercross Live, bro, or Super Motocross.
Oh my God.
Wow. How long ago did that happen? Couple hours
ago?
And it's just blowing up, dude.
The sequence of it, right?
Yeah, we got Ryan Villapoto that commented.
Justin Cooper.
Yeah, Ryan Villapoto that commented said, "You don't know your audience." Ken Roxon said, "Oh boy." Cooper Webb said, "Nah."
Justin Cooper said, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Or what the helly?
What the helly? You got everybody and their mother reposting it, and then talking smack.
And then they turn off the comments.
Yeah, and then they turn off the comments, and then people are posting on their story talking shit.
Yes. Oh
Free
my
speech.
God.
Free speech.
Hey, social media, dog.
I mean, what's the thoughts on this?
I mean,
if someone asks you,
they definitely didn't have a comment section on when or an idea section on, what would you call it, like an idea board on, like, running across ideas,
like pros and cons.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
I would say the motocross scene, this would be the last post you would want to do on anything.
yeah. I don't know.
Especially on a Sunday.
Okay, but that's just timing. That's just timing, though.
No,
especially on a Sunday.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta
Like, especially
hide
on
that
a
shit
Sunday.
in a Monday afternoon on the 3rd or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
yes.
or Monday morning at like 3 a.m.
Euro time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Okay, but then again, have you gone through and seen all year? They've posted every time that there has been a month. They posted it. You know, they did in February. They did it. Fucking January had something. And March had something. They've done.
Yeah,
that.
they do it. They do their corporate job.
I mean, I get it.
They've
Like
done, you just said it right on the nose, Adam.
Yeah,
corporate.
They did their corporate job, and that's what they're doing. They're checking off the boxes. So whoever doesn't come after them.
Well, maybe we need to check the box on next June. We should probably not do this one.
I don't know, dude. It's hard for me because it's like, I get that it's not the demographic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's not like I have anything against what those people want to do with their life.
No.
Right?
I mean, I don't.
I just don't know. I just don't know. This is the thing. I don't have anything against them. The LGBT, whatever it is, gay people, whatever you want to do. That's totally cool. That is totally awesome. Right? But we're racing Supercross, bro.
Yes, we are.
So on a Sunday after the race, instead of Pride, which could be any other day, could we maybe post some highlights from the weekend? I don't know.
You don't think we got a crash reel or something that we could post?
Anything. You know what I'm saying? Like Sunday after the race, that's what we're posting.
Yes.
I don't know. I think there's a place in this world for everybody and everybody to do their thing. But yeah, I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to leave it at that. I think I've said my piece. Anything else, you guys?
I'll just say this, like,
what are you going to say?
The community of people that travel to the races every weekend that work within like the super motocross ecosystem, you could call it that. Like mechanics, riders, the people that put the tough blocks out, the people that manage the show, like all of that stuff within that community. There is definitely some people that identify that way. Right.
Cool.
And like, cool, like totally cool. Totally cool. You got to feel for them that like, hey man, this is they didn't ask for this or anything. But just like, hey, man, I'm just living my fucking life and doing this. And then today, bam, you just get fucking landmined by that. And just like your whole thing, like everybody around that and like all these people that you know and that you probably spend a lot of time with every single weekend, you're probably just like, oh, fuck, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And like, that's got to kind of hurt, you know? So I feel for those people in that way because like, goddamn, man, that would just, ouch. You know what I mean? And then on the how big's the sport going to be scale, like we definitely see it. We are definitely like, it is what it is. Nobody's going to say anything. Like we've been very lucky in the last couple of weeks with all the like quote unquote controversy we've had that it's not blowing up because like, we straight the fuck up could not handle it at all. Like at all. Dog, this should be, we if this was like 4 or 5 years ago, we would be every night just on a new fucking news outlet, just getting just bashed one
or just
another.
apologizing.
Dog, Dave Prater and Mike Muley just out there every day at the pedestal, just like getting off a new list of names of people that we've somehow offended in the last fucking 24 hours. Like, damn, man. But like, whatever, you know, like, are you surprised? Are you surprised at all?
No,
I'm not.
I'm not surprised at all.
I'm not. I am.
If you're a corporate sponsor and you saw that today, you're like, oh yeah, but maybe not, because then if you do see how everybody rolled back all their DEI shit in the last 6 months too, you're like, man, maybe it's just fucking corporate money. They're gonna go where the money's at.
Yep, there you go.
That's where, and I'll tell you my last thing on it. When any sports organization or any business does any kind of like, we support you for this 30 days campaign, they don't give a fuck about those people. That is just like pouring out what you care about for a advertising thing. If they're not actively helping you out in your community and what you stand up for and what you care about, and they're using what you believe in for marketing, fuck them.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't care about you.
I mean, that is the truth.
Damn. Talking about the harsh truth just coming out. Anton just laying it down. All right. We good with that? I think everybody else covered it as much.
I think
it's going to be a hilarious week to see how this goes on.
Yes. I'm just waiting for somebody like, do you think anybody at like Supercross Live or anything has to? No, they are not going to say nothing, right?
What
do you think the post gets taken down?
Yes, that was literally where I was going to go. What's the over under that thing's going to get deleted or not?
No, what's the over under? It gets
it's
deleted
staying
in
up.
the next couple weeks. It's not going to get deleted this week, but it might.
No,
After
if it survives a day, I think it'll be fine.
And you know what the best part is? It wasn't even on Pro Motocross or Supercross Live. It was on Super Motocross.
Third burner account.
Yeah.
And no collabs.
No, none. Oh.
No, like, hey, man, we're going to hit it on all 3 channels that are like, NBC Sports is going to shoot. No, hey, just throw it out there.
Every other post gets just collabed across the board.
Hey, Pro Motocross didn't post it. Supercross Live didn't post it.
Interesting. All right. Well, good thing we just report on the news. That's our job, right?
I mean, hell yeah, but I mean, they got to know their demographic, right?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, that's what happens when you put that out to the masses.
Yeah.
The people are going to have opinions on it.
Yep. Straight
Period.
up. Yep. Amen. We have an opinion. That's why we have a show.
Yes.
Because people listen to our opinion. All right. Speaking of opinions, what do we think about the fucking motos getting cut to 25 minutes?
I feel like Weston Pike, dude.
Tell me.
Did you see that post, Michael?
I did.
Okay, tell us about the post since you guys are Mr. Insiders. Keeping secret.
You want me to read it?
Yes, read that shit. Read, because this is not, we are not rated PG at Track Talkers.
Hold on. Weston.
And I just know for a fact anything Weston Pike has posted is not PG.
Weston's, I'd love Weston for this. He said he posted a picture about himself.
And quote.
So Weston Pike, 2015 National, 1 point away from a podium finish. I believe it was the hundreds, and we still did 30 minutes plus 2. The second moto time cuts yesterday must have came from the person that posted the Pride Month picture from Super Motocross Instagram. But I was thinking about it, and on like a real note,
What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about like, what if there was 25 minute motos from now on? And like, there would have been a lot of change, but I don't know if it's good change or bad change, because like last year we had Chase Sexton literally pass Aaron Plessinger on the last lap of the 30 minute plus 2. But like, if there are 25 minutes, then Aaron Plessinger wins her first moto in Moto 1.
And last year.
So it's like,
dude, why
are we getting to the point where like motos are like survival of the fittest? Kinda.
Dude.
But it seems to be, I don't know. What is your guys' thoughts? Because I like seeing more of a high intensity short race than I do like a 30 minute plus 2 race that just kind of drags on. And then we occasionally get, out of the 22 motos, we get 5 motos that are really good all the way to the end.
Cut it down to 20 minutes, bro. 20 minutes plus 2. That's still what? It's a 2-minute lap time. I mean, whatever. It's like,
no, I think 25 minutes plus 2 and just see how it goes across the board. And then you're still going to be at like 32 minutes with total time.
I am so zonk bored by the end of the motos watching Deegan just hammer them. And then he's looking back. He's looking back like, oh, I got to keep Joe about 7 seconds. Oh, back it down. Oh, speed it up, back it down.
I think we also got to look at this weekend not being such an outlier, because it's like,
dude, there's always going to be more. There's going to be more intensity towards the end of a moto. And it's always going to happen like that because you're able to make those pushes towards the end of the moto, right? But if you let them get too separated because of 30 minutes, then you get that gap to where they can't make that push because it's too long of a span. If you cut it down to 20, 25 minutes, people can stay closer for longer and then do that last burst of energy to make it all happen at the end of the moto.
And you know, that just brought up a good point in my brain.
In your brain?
In my brain was that, like, dude, I think a lot of fans don't know how close you are of running out of gas. Like Enzo Timmerman ran out of gas in Moto 2.
Yeah. After getting filled up.
Like
topping him off on the gate.
Everybody,
which his gas could have boiled.
So why does gas boil? Because you're getting down to the last little bit in your gas tank and it's so freaking hot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So, I mean, I think a lot of fans don't understand that, like, literally after the sight lap, after you roll your bike down in the gate and then you do your sight lap, your mechanic needs to have basically a pint of fuel to make sure you're topped off all the way to the cap, because you are going to run out of gas. And then even on the sand tracks, you better have a little oversized gas tank.
Yeah, and
to keep a little extra fuel.
At Southwick, you have to have a bigger gas tank or you won't make it.
Well, even sometimes on normal, like, you know, hilly tracks like Hangtown or Washougal, like, you're going to burn more fuel. And a lot of these guys are, you know, almost on fumes coming into the last couple laps. So, like, why not shorten it by a couple minutes, 5 minutes? So, we're not having these kids run out of gas.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Besides
Weston Pike's hilarious Instagram post, I think it would be almost better racing.
I think it'd be better racing if they cut it down to 20 minutes, but whatever. Anton, what's your take on it?
I agree with you. Like, when I go rewatch the motos on a Sunday, I fall asleep.
Thank you.
Like,
at the end of the 30 minute, especially second motos, if there's nothing going on, I'm like,
oh yeah, if there's nothing going on, and like, I am tired after running up and down all day on Saturday. But like, try as I might to stay awake, I'm like, oh my God, I can't do it. Especially especially 250 class. Like the 450 class, I always can, but the 250 class always like kills me. But I just 30 minutes. 30 minutes yesterday, the first one. Like, I like the strategy of everything that goes down to it, because before I knew that Aaron, missed the 2-lap card, I thought that he was like employing perfect strategy of like, all right, going to hit the card now. Knew it was the 30-second card, been talking to Jay through the pit board, all of that. I like that because, you got to be badass. Like, I love a 30-minute moto.
Yeah.
I like the history of it.
Gnarly.
I think like if a 40-minute moto, 45-minute moto, like what it was way back in the day, like, oh my, that's too much. That's too much. 30 minutes is cool. 20 minutes Supercross main is cool. Whatever the SMX races are, like, I'm good with those, But there are certain times where I'm just like, 30 minutes, oh my God, get this over with. But
especially on days like
you kind of need it because it does have a separation though. Like, you got 5 more minutes in you. What else can happen in 5 minutes? Yesterday doesn't happen with AP losing that first moto with 5 minutes less. Granted, that was a mistake that he made, but like also the timing of that situation, you don't see some of those hectic, oh my God, do or die things that have shaped out sometimes. Like, there are some times where they're just blowouts, but there's other times where, like, man, that last 5 is where the whole race came together.
Bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
saying.
And
it still would.
Yes, it still would if it was 5 minutes, even 10 minutes shorter.
I know, but let's just do a little small jump in the right direction. Let's just make all the motos and the main events and everything the same across the board. When the time runs out, it's plus 1 lap.
Yeah.
So everything looks so cohesive. Because if I'm an average fanny, I look at Monster Energy Supercross and they're like, oh, 20 minutes over. Plus 1 lap. Okay, why isn't outdoor the same thing?
Yeah, I don't understand the plus 2 laps. Like, I know somebody knows
it's
the
just
exact thing.
It's a nostalgic, like, outdoor thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but like, I wonder where the 2-lap thing came from then.
I
how do you pick that random ass number?
Because there's I'm talking shit right now, but because there's a sponsorship on, the 2-lap board or some shit. So it's a sponsorship spot, but I don't even know if that's true or not.
I mean, I don't know how it would work because there's 40 guys, but let's throw something real wacky out there. What if we just did the SX format and kept everything almost the same?
What do you mean?
Did 2 heat races and 1 main event.
On outdoor?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Oh shit. I love it. All right. Well, so do we want 20 or 25 minutes?
Oh, well,
20 or 25 minutes?
I would start with 25 minutes.
All right. Let's do 25 minutes. Anton, what's your take? 20 or 25 minutes?
25, but I'd rather keep it at 30.
Really? You just want to stick with 30 minutes?
Yeah, no,
I think 30 minutes
don't
plus
mind
one
the
lap
30.
sounds way better.
Okay. Is there any other format that we can do that would make outdoors more fun to watch? Because the whole 3-moto format, Triple Crown thing, I'm over that.
Oh, no, and you can do like physically in the day, you're at the fucking limit. Like you can't do anything else. The hour that we get for lunch and the hour 45 minutes that you get between motos sometimes is like a crush. I don't know how they do everything else. And like, you guys have been to enough races. The way that they got to prep the tracks to keep them somewhat contained for the whole day. Like, you got to soak them first thing in the morning. So then everybody's bikes get toasted first practice. And then you're chasing it all day after that. Like, they're just now getting a grip on track prep and all that stuff. How would we relearn all of that and the schedule and keep the tracks going?
Michael,
that's crazy.
What I don't understand is, so like everybody does press day on Friday now, regardless, right?
Yeah.
No, not everybody, but almost.
Not everybody. They're getting actually for pro motocross, they're going the opposite of Supercross, where they're actually trying to reel it in a little bit. Like it's harder to get into the pro motocross one than it is Supercross sometimes.
Okay, well, regardless of that, right? Why don't we open up the whole track? No cameras and no filming's allowed, because I know that's a big thing or whatever. Just have everybody have a really good practice, like 20 minutes for each class on Friday, and eliminate a whole practice, and then have one qualifying practice.
Because you need 2 qualifiers. Why? Because what if Jorge Prado's bike blows up? You have to have 2 shots.
Why?
Have to. Because you got to be able to make adjustments. You got to have 2 shots.
If your bike's going to blow up, it's going to blow up on Friday.
Yeah, but dude, imagine Cooper Webb. What happened to him at Paula happens in one of the practices, and then he just doesn't get to race.
Well, damn, that's a hell of a story.
Can't do it. I'm sorry. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You can shorten them to 5 minutes apiece, whatever you want.
Oh, so one lap.
Yeah. Well, you can't.
Oh, what happens if someone washed their front end and didn't get a lap?
Then they get another shot, another 5 minutes.
Oh, God.
You have to have 2 shots. Anton, back me up on this.
You're saying go one practice, like free practice Friday, and then one qualifier on Saturday.
Yep.
Insane. Anton's trying to muster up the words to try to make you make sense, but it doesn't.
Look, here's the thing. Like on a business scale, they can't do that, because the way that the track makes money for pro motocross weekends is the amateur day, like straight out. Like, hey, we're selling a bunch of amateur riding slots to do all this stuff. So we have to do this, and this around there. Like, much of the day has got to get blocked out. But like, it's going to be hard to do that, because the track that the pro guys are then going to go out on is not consistent for their whole day together. You know what I mean? You're only going to, like, your Friday track is, even for press day, considerably differently prepped than what your Saturday track is, because you have to appease 65cc riders, 250C riders, 450A rider or 450B riders, whatever it is that comes in. So this weekend they did on Friday WMX and then the SMX combine, and no amateur day. Amateur day was last week at Hangtown. Like, you guys are in NorCal, you know that, or Central Cal. But like, that is such a hectic day in itself. To try to fit any more pro motocross stuff within that would just be a bear. And then what I watched the teams do, bro, all of the mechanics after your bike gets ridden on Friday, you pretty much go through and redo everything that you did on Saturday. So like, they would be taking it as into a whole nother like re-prep, like everybody's just redoing everything. Your bike does get, in the half hour that it's on the track, mechanics think that their shit gets weeded.
So so you guys are just saying there's no way that we can really shorten up the whole day on Saturday to where we're not doing a moto at 5:30 p.m.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't think so.
2 20-minute
I really
motos.
don't think so because we're already getting there at 7:00 in the morning. Unless you go to 2 20-minute motos and then you give that. And it does help the TV thing because I know that the 30-minute plus 2 on the TV package, like that is a really, really hard thing for them to try to keep within the box. But yeah, the only thing you could do is if you took time away from the motos.
Yeah, but now you're recovering less too.
Yeah, but you have less time on the track. It doesn't. The only way to make the day shorter is to do 2 20-minute motos, or you could make it like MXGP and do 2 qualifiers the day before. If you want to do that, cool. But like you said, that's more weight on the tracks, and they're making less money unless they switch qualifying to Friday and then they have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday whole deal, which they could make more money if people came for qualifying, but people wouldn't. Not as many people would come for qualifying, but still.
But the teams have also pushed against that because like it doesn't matter now. Everybody's traveling just as much as they ever have been, you know. But what that came from was when it was, Saturday practice and some qualifying motos at a national, and then Sunday was the national, and then teams weren't flying home until Monday, sometimes Tuesday, and then you got to turn around and fly back again on Thursday.
Yeah.
That was just taking everybody's time away from home, and then you're just going to burn everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's just shorten up the motos. I don't mind it.
Of course you don't mind it. You hate outdoor.
I actually enjoy outdoor watching it.
Yeah, from your house.
Yes. And when there's a good battle and Deegan doesn't run away with it and Jett doesn't run away with it.
Yeah, from the TV.
Yes. Not there. Can't see anything. Paula was one of the hardest places I've ever seen to watch an event. I seen like one section and then there were so many hills and everything was so far away that I seen nothing else. That was it. But yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on. Speaking of Jett walking away with it, second moto, let's talk about Jett in the first moto.
Struggled. Didn't get the start. Didn't go with the scoop or the paddle. We call it a paddle here because it is a paddle.
Yep.
And then in the second moto, he decided to go with the paddle with the start. So that paid off. But so I was trying to think. So that was actually the first moto he has lost, technically.
Yes.
Because he didn't complete a first lap last year.
Yes.
So they weren't considering that one because he didn't complete a first lap.
I guess. I don't know. Either way, he did not look comfy, and he looked like his ass did not have the speed.
No.
And he can say whatever he wants about like, oh, I didn't want to push because I wanted to save energy for the second moto. That came from no one ever racing a dirt bike. If you can win, you go and you try to win, even if you're on their tail. He wasn't even on their tail.
And so I'll be honest here. I didn't watch the race live, but I looked at the results and I saw the results and I was like, oh, damn, Jett got third. And they're like saying that he had a bad start or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I watch it back. Jett was like 6th or 5th off the start.
Yeah.
I was like thinking he was way back.
Yeah.
Like he was there.
Yeah. He was
like,
if it was Deegan, he would have won.
Yeah. Like I would have thought normal Jett could have sliced and diced right there, but he didn't.
No, he didn't.
From the get.
No. And AP
was ripping.
I've never seen AP go that fast.
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
Never. Not once.
I mean, he was stretching out like, I was like, oh, I hope he really wins. And then I was like, man, the gap's still like 3 seconds on Eli Tomac. Oh, the gap's still like 2.8. Like we're maintaining and we're riding really good.
That was the most legit speed I've ever seen from AP ever.
Like he was the fastest guy on the planet for 28 minutes.
Yep. Honestly, this was not a fluke. This was not Eli was making mistakes and had to come through. He was faster than Jett and Eli that moto.
Yeah.
And if they were 20 minutes, he would have won.
If it was 25 minutes, he still would have won.
You know what I'm saying? That was pretty unreal. I was really impressed with the AP's performance. I was impressed with how his bike was. I was impressed with his corner speed.
Did you see how close he was to getting third, though? My boy.
Dude, he was delirious. I'm telling you.
Bro, he was partly delirious for sure.
He was delirious.
He did not care where he finished after he dropped the anchor. And he was just like, ugh.
The heat
because he
got to him for sure.
Yeah, he didn't even have enough motion to like even care like Jett was on him.
No, he didn't care. And I don't think I cared either. If Jett would have got by him, I'd still be talking about the same exact thing. Dude, they messed up on the 2-lap board. It was supposed to be out 2 laps ago. The guy at the finish messed up.
And the other thing too, like he was like a split second away from doing 3 more laps.
Dude. Right?
Split second.
Oh.
Like, I think that, like, Flagger guy was an AP fan. And he was like, bro, 2 laps.
Yeah, because they had it out way before the end of the time.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Like, it was still ticking, and they had it,
It was at, like, 2 seconds, and he was mid-corner, and he only had, like, a couple 100 feet to go.
Yeah, and no, board was up.
Yeah.
Board was up. I love that. But it is wild to know that he trains at the Baker's factory. He's that fit because do not think for a second AP is not an absolute machine when it comes to fitness, right?
Yep.
And still the heat got him and made him delirious.
Bro, that's just how much he wanted that win so bad. He was just like, I'm emptying the tank right now.
Yeah.
I am emptying the tank because I want to win that bad. I don't want to have anything left. Like, this is my opportunity to win.
I'm surprised he even came back for the second moto after that.
I mean, well, that's why you're fit, right? And that's why you're out, because you can recover and then go do that again.
And ended up with a 2-3.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to the Stan Benson Racing 250 class highlights, right?
Bro, can you guys just give me some props, bro? I was the first one to come up with like Deegan going perfect. And it sure is looking like he's going to be going perfect.
And everybody's talking about it too.
I talked about it first.
We talked about it on Track Talkers first. I'm pretty sure I said it, but whatever.
No. Absolutely not.
We'll give you the credit where the credit's due. Ty, you were the first one to bring it up.
Thank you.
Anton,
that's all I asked.
Was he the first one though?
Dude, when did you say that, Ty? December? Or Denver Supercross?
Yes. I could have said it in December.
I think it was Denver. I think it was. You called it pretty early.
Bro,
like really early.
Yes. I was like, dude,
we'll see.
This boy.
He can do it so far. But we got to talk about 2 guys, okay? We got to talk about, who do we want to talk about first?
Did you go just 2 guys like this?
No, 2 guys like this. 2 guys like this.
2 guys.
2 guys, bro. We got to talk about Lance Kobush. Moto 2. What's up, baby? My boy was barking, dog. Dude, was that some crazy ass shit or what?
Dude, Lance Kobush and Hayden must be friends.
They have to be, right? Homies or something.
They must be.
That was awesome. And if they aren't, they are now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because you can't not put some respect on that. I mean, I haven't seen anybody throw a gang sign to Deegan this whole season, bruh. Right?
Or stay that close to him.
Dude, Deegan OJ'd that jump, and Deegan was so surprised he almost got passed back. Like, let's put it this way. If Lance Kobush had more horsepower, Deegan would have got passed up that hill, no question. But Deegan clearly had an extra quarter throttle on the twist of his throttle versus Kobush's.
Yes, I think Kobush is definitely working a little bit harder to make sure he can last more than 2 laps this week.
I mean, yeah, oh no. The one issue was that Lance Kobush did end up getting 37th.
He could have went down.
He could have went down. Yeah.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know because he wasn't on TV after that, but it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
No.
He had the 2 best laps of his life, and it looked like he belonged. And that's all that matters.
It did look like he belonged, didn't it?
Yeah, he was up there ripping.
Dude, he was putting it down.
Yes.
Okay. Next guy. Levi Kitchen. Talk about a bounce back, boys.
I mean, was it a bounce back or kind of should have been there the whole time?
Should have been there the whole time, but considering how shitty he did at the first one, that's a bounce back.
Yes. I think for his psyche, it was like, okay, this is where I kind of need to be, and this is what I need to do week in, week out. Right?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about his ride, Anton? You were there. You watched it.
Oh, well, Anton put us on mute.
It was on mute.
Yep. No, you're good. Anton, what did you think about Levi Kitchen's ride this weekend? What did you think about, like, dude, I don't know. I think you are right, Ty, in the sense of, like, it was a bounce back. I mean, it wasn't really a bounce back because he should have been there. But, like, damn, bro, at some point you got to take a win where you get a win, right?
I mean, yeah, but I would have liked to see a 3-2 because he was in that position. He did get passed by Joe.
I mean, I would have liked to see a lot of things at Paula, but we didn't see him. You got to take what you can get.
I mean, that's true, but when the opportunity's there, Levi Kitchen's that caliber of rider where he shouldn't be getting passed.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on it, Mike?
Yeah, I think with Levi's deal, that was in terms of how last week looked, like big bounce back, but also when you look at how last week went with that chain popping off, but just not looking like it was a good weekend from the get-go.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was a good one for him, but honestly was never really in the conversation. It was like last week when Tom got on the podium and I was like, well, Tom got on the podium? Like, oh yeah, of course he did. Like, how else would it happen?
Yeah.
But then, just it was quiet. Like, I really didn't, like, as Levi was doing his thing, the only two guys that really stood out to me all day in the 250 class had been Joe and Hayden. Those two, because, like, it's Joe and Hayden. So I really didn't think that much of Levi's deal. But then the thing that, has to be respected a lot, Hayden and Joe both had to, like, dip off the podium. Like, they didn't do the trophy celebration and all that. Only Levi was like, yeah, I could do it. Like, I still got some energy left. So all the mechanics got to do the trophy presentation and pop the champagne.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. They've never done that before. But, like, Levi was like, yo, I could do it if I needed to. And then Levi was going to be the only guy in the 250 press conference until Hayden popped up after he went to the Alpine Stars rig and started feeling better.
Yeah.
But, like, there'd been so many questions about Levi's, like, oh, is he healthy? Is he this? Is he that? Whatever sidelined him early in the Supercross season and where it was taking, like, that much time to get back from. And then wondering, like, well, okay, what's that going to do for outdoors? You're going to get smoked in the summer heat? It's pretty hot yesterday, and he looked like he rose to the challenge. He's been riding in Florida. And I think it's, like, a very important stretch in the summer to get done what he needs to get done. Not that he's stressing about it, but go prove what you're doing works. You know, go prove that the little circle that you've cut out for yourself down in Florida and away from California can get you the results. Like, go do it. Now you have the time. Now you got a podium finish to build off of. Go to Thunder Valley, a track that you're good at, and then get ready to go to the East Coast stuff that's technical that you're good at too, and build.
Yeah.
But just fucking whatever happened to Paula, just forget about it. It's over now.
Yeah.
So what I did hear on the broadcast, what Weege announced was that he got a nutritionist and a mental coach.
And in the press conference, he said he got his ass chewed by Mitch Payton this week.
Well, he should have.
And he said,
I bet he did.
Mitch told me to get my ass in gear.
Well, I mean, it seemed like he needed it.
Yeah, but the broadcast...
I love how Mitch said that and his bike, his chain popped off.
Well, the first one, bro, and even the second one, his chain popped off. That's fine. That's all good. But he wasn't where he needed to be anyways.
Yeah.
And they did say on the broadcast he got a nutritionist and a mental coach and all that shit, but that's old news. That's old AF. They're bringing up old shit. That's been there, done that. My guy's had that.
I don't think he's had that since Supercross.
Yeah, he has. I'm like really sure.
I mean, I know he's always worked with Peter Park, but I don't think he had a nutritionist and a mental coach.
What I did hear, what James Stewart said, is what we said, is if you show up to the races with a flaming haircut, your ass better be on the fucking podium, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you're calling out things like that, you got to be doing it. And you got to give credit where credit's due. I say that all the time. But he did it this weekend. I know he wasn't on the top step, but dude, a guy that can go from 10th or 12th and a chain popping off to back on the podium next weekend, that's massive bounce back.
Yeah, I'm not trying to not give him credit.
Sounds like it.
But I'm not going to give him the whole world because it's something that I'm not expecting from Levi Kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, Levi Kitchen, in my eyes, my expectation for him is freaking championship competitor.
Bah. That brings up my next subject, boys, in the
What?
Stan Benson Racing 250. Michael and Ty, who's going to be the first guy that beats Deegan if anybody beats him?
I'll give you the answer. No one.
No, come on.
I'm standing on it.
Who's going to beat him?
Deegan.
Deegan's going to beat himself?
Yes. I think that's the only way anybody's going to win.
I don't see him beating himself.
You know what I'm saying? Star better have that
Mike.
machine kicking, bro.
Mike.
I'm going to be pissed
Who's
if he
gonna
loses a
beat him?
Moto.
Who's going to beat him?
I agree with you guys on the whole, like, the only way to beat him is himself, because I said that last week. And when I was watching him this week, like when he did his practice start and he just rode the rear wheel all the way into the first turn and was like kind of shimmying the bike around. And that's why I asked in the question in the press conference that I did. I'm like, yo, dude, you only get to do that a little bit longer. Like you probably will get to Mad Dog the 450 eventually, but that's not going to be the first year. Like,
No.
that's got to just be so fun to just ride the fuck out of that bike. But there were a couple times where I heard it this weekend where I was like, yo, has that got 22 motos in it? Because it sounded a little raspier than I thought it did, you know,
Right.
but he'll be okay. But the thing that comes with that is the same thing that I said last week. Like, how long can you ride the razor's edge before you fall off the backside of it? And honestly, though, how fast he pops up, how much stamina, how much energy he's had. The moto stays 30 minutes, he's going to get back to the front. You know, the only person I think is like really going to be a big threat just based off of like fitness, stamina, and like does not give a shit is Joe. Dog Joe looks legit.
Come on.
Joe does look. Joe honestly looks like there's not really any question marks. Like watching him get into positions that he needs to be pushing, doesn't seem like overly tired. Doesn't seem stressed about anything, like understands the situation of developing a motorcycle that everybody keeps talking about. Like, Joe's just doing his job.
Yeah.
And Joe doesn't seem to get fazed by it. What's going to interest me is if it's this week or if it's by High Point, what does Joe do to respond when Hayden then takes his shot at Joe? Because they've had enough little barbs back and forth to each other, block passes, all that stuff. Like, we've talked about the history that those two have. But what's Joe's response going to be, and how does that go from there?
Is Joe crafty enough, though?
Hold on.
If Joe stays on enough, yes.
Hold on. Let me tell you something real quick about Joe Shimoda. All right? If there's one dude that isn't gonna give a shit about what Deegan says or does, it's Joe Shimoda. And you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you his Japanese parents have done shit 10 million times gnarlier to him than anything that Deegan will ever say or do. Am I wrong?
Yes.
That culture is gnarly, bro. When you hear him talk at Anaheim about the pressure that was on him to do good, to perform as a Japanese rider, it was monumental. I don't think anything phases Joe anymore because he's been through so much pressure.
Then what happens every single gate drop on Saturday then?
I think that he has to be comfortable. I think you're finally seeing a good bike outdoor that he's good on and he's getting it done. I think once you get out and you get Joe a good start, he will then build confidence to be able to win. I don't
Because
think
he can't buy a good start right now.
No. And I don't think the first time he gets a good start, it's going to happen. It's going to be more towards the end of the year like Joe always does, and you got to keep building and building and building to where he can get it done. Because I don't think the pressure and the talking shit and all that is going to affect him. I think he doesn't have the speed yet. He just doesn't have the speed. I don't think it has anything to do with talking smack or anything like that. He needs a start. He needs to see the speed, and then he needs to see it again, and he needs
I
to
think
see
you're
it
wrong.
again. Okay, tell me why I'm wrong.
Because I think he has the speed. He has enough speed on like a Deegan bad day where he can beat Deegan.
Yeah.
But the problem is
I would agree
if
with
you
that.
don't start in front of Deegan on his bad day, he's not going to be able to get it done.
No, and not only do you have to start in front of Deegan, you have to get the whole shot, and he's got to start like 6th.
Yes.
Because
And
if it's 1 and 2, you're toast.
And he
16th.
can't
16.
and he can't see you.
Yeah.
Because if
If
Deegan
he gets a glimpse of you,
and looks at you like a little dangling carrot, he's going to figure out how to get to you
yes.
and eat you.
he just does whatever it takes.
Yes. And he's going to figure it out within the 30 minutes because he's fit enough to use his brain and to be thinking clearly where he's not on the edge.
Yep. So pretty much the formula that we're saying it's going to take for only Joe Shimoda to beat him.
I mean,
right
Levi Kitchen could get it done.
now. Not right now.
I think so.
I don't.
I think
think
wasn't Levi historically good at Thunder Valley?
I think
Yeah,
you're
Levi
right.
is.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think you're right.
Yeah, he is.
But
Joe's been doing it. He's done 4 really
Yes.
good motos, and that's the most important thing in the 250 class is like repeatable consistency. You know, hey, I did it once, now I got to do it again. Now I got to do it again. Now I got to do it again. Because Hayden's the only one that's able to do it in the class by like consistently being on the podium. Everybody else is like 2.7, 3.5, all that.
Oh my God. Did you guys look at the results for the 250 class for first moto compared to second moto?
mm-mm.
Bro, like it's insane the flip-flop of like
List some off.
Ty Masterpool got 8th with a 4:16.
Wow.
You want to hear another mind-boggling one? Garrett Marchbanks got 5th with a 7.5.
That's not that mind-boggling, but yeah.
Okay, what about Jordan Smith getting a 6th with 11th 6?
Yeah.
That's
I
kind
mean,
of crazy.
Definitely the inconsistency in the 250 classes.
Hey, Michael Mosman got a 10th with a 5.17.
That is pretty wild. Okay.
Oh, here's another one. Seth Hammaker got a 15th with a 6.40.
I mean, we know what happened there.
Oh,
But
Tom Vial got 17th with a 48th.
yeah, I mean, it's wild for sure.
Bro, we're talking about multiple people
Okay.
not putting 2 motos together.
Let's move on to the Churbis Big L Big Dub segment of the show. I don't know. So who's going first? Big L, Big Dub. Am I going first? You
Sure.
going first?
Sure.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay, Big L. Michael Musselman.
His home track, he was ripping.
I know.
He was looking good.
Dude, he was flying.
He was ripping.
And then to weed it up where he did too.
Oh, on that little corner that he's done probably 1,000,000 times.
Well, not only that, but isn't that like right where he almost like he got real jacked up that year too?
I think so.
Yeah, like right after that.
Mhm.
They replaced that jump with like a single.
Yep.
Ugh. Not good. What do you even do? Where do you go from there, dude?
Bro, you go to Thunder Valley and you
Okay. Let's talk about that. I'm giving you a big L. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
what's
giving
up?
you your big L. Okay?
Why?
Jeremy Martin.
Well,
We got to talk about Jeremy.
why is
What
it a
are
big L?
we-
What was your expectations of, okay, you're doing Pro Motocross and you have a week to get ready?
I mean, I don't know what my expectation was, to be honest. I was hoping for like a 12th or a 14th.
He was in 10th, wasn't he? When he went down?
I don't know.
I think so.
All I know is he got 44th, which I didn't even know was possible.
Well, that's why you have alternates. Make sure there's full gates.
I mean,
in
I
Moto
get
1,
it.
102.
I get it. It's just different from what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anton, what's your big L?
Where's your big W, Adam?
My
Why are you
big
going-
dub?
Why are you going
Adam,
L?
yeah,
No, you're good. My big dub
yeah.
of the weekend is Eli Tomac. Can it be anybody else?
How was that a dub, dude?
This
He got
is why.
fourth.
Yeah, but this is why it's a big dub.
Why?
Because Eli Tomac was going to beat Jett that second moto. I don't care what you tell me. And he put it down in the first moto and pulled anybody that could have beat him in the Nationals. Yes or no?
I'm just saying, bro, on literally historically,
Okay.
Jett's worst track, Eli Tomac got fourth. And you know where Jett ended up?
I know where he ended up.
First.
I get it, but he still ended up with a 3 in the first moto. I wanted some light. I wanted some light. If Jett went out and went 1-1, this season was over. I was going to turn off outdoor and then turn it back on in September and be like, oh, Deegan and Jett had perfect seasons. That's what was going to happen. Okay? With what happened with Eli Tomac, I see a foreseeable win. I see a championship battle happening at least at some point. Yes or no? I see another potential winner in Aaron Plessinger.
Yes, I see that. I see that for sure. It's going to be tough with the number 18.
Well, we knew that
He's
shit.
really good at riding dirt bikes.
We knew that shit already. Anton, dude, what is your big L or even just big dub, either one this weekend in Hangtown?
Big dub is AP. Because, I mean, as you guys have said through the show, and I completely agree after watching it from there, like, Aaron's clicked another gear. He's finding whatever it's in him that's going to keep him at the front, and he was ripping. You know, if he did not mistime that and just held that push off a little bit longer, he beats Eli. Like, straight up, he's going to beat him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And in the last couple of weeks, I said this in the press conference to Aaron yesterday, he's been really vocal about like, hey, we know the season started off terribly, but the team has stuck by me. I figured out what it is. Like we talked about in the last couple of shows, the self-help books that he's doing. He was on a Dale Jr.'s podcast saying the same thing.
Yep.
But just the inner belief that he has in himself to know to get the job done, to embrace it. Aaron's like stepping into his little power. And you just love to see that happen because that's what we've all wanted for him. And he's healthy. He hasn't been hurt. He's doing the program. He's got another year on a bike that he's figured out with the team. Like,
yeah,
we are finally seeing Aaron step into what he's capable of. And I love watching that happen because we're all happy for it. You know, everybody's going to be happy to watch an AP win. You know what I mean?
1,000%. 1,000%.
So like, suck to see him lose it like that on Saturday afternoon, you know, especially after last year where Chase nabbed that overall or that moto win from him at Hangtown with that 40th, the first charge. And then he was dogging that one out to get it. And he came in and like, you know, the initial emotion that he had, like watching when they were behind the podium under those tents and like how he had to process like, oh my God, my brain is melting because I'm just so hot. And then I just lost this race. I have to talk to the team. I have to cool down. Jett's coming over to talk to him. Eli's right there. Everybody's there. Like, he took it like a champ. He took it so well. No bitch fit, no throwing a temper tantrum, no nothing. Like, he owned his mistake. And that was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I think AP's just going to figure it out more and more.
Okay, big L. If you got one.
I don't really got one. I mean, like, the easiest one would be like, yo, everybody's just got to be like, you know, the fucking don't say negative shit on the internet. Like everybody's gonna say their shit. It's whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We just look stupid. But like I was telling you boys before we got on the phone, every professional sport goes through this. Every professional sport has professional athletes that do dumb shit that put the sport in a bad light.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, it's forgotten about. Like I was watching the race recap while we were talking on the phone, and Microsoft, like one of the biggest software companies, has an ad running on the races with Zion Williamson in the NBA. You know what I mean? And look at what Zion's last 72 hours has been. And you don't think every sport goes through that? You don't think that when FIFA has like seeding games for World Cup countries, that there's fan bases that can't come because of the terrible racist shit that they say about other players? Like every sport's got it. We are just watching ours do that. And then how are we as an audience and a group of participants, what are we going to do to help steer the conversation in a way that we know accurately represents our values rather than just be like funny shit, you know?
Yep. Totally. I agree. I mean, it's a tough situation. The whole thing's tough. I guess it's one of those things where it's just like, there's no right way to handle it is the hardest part.
No,
right?
you just got to learn. You just got to go through it. The only way you're going to figure it out. I'm like, yo, dude, it's not the end of the world. Like, some other dumb shit's going to happen by Wednesday that everybody's going to be upset about, you know, but just like, I had this thought today, like when this thing happened, and like, sorry to take so much of your boys' time on your show with like my.
What do you mean? I love this
rants.
Yeah, we love
but,
the
like,
rants.
I'm so like, you know, in the last couple of years, everybody's like, grow the sport, grow the sport, grow the sport, grow the sport, and like, I'm not even going to think about that shit anymore. I'm just going to enjoy what we have because it's just so fun. Because like, you know, dude, we all got to get on the same page. We literally, I had this thought yesterday watching 450 Moto 2. We have a year to figure out what we're going to do to optimize what's coming. The Jett versus Hayden outdoor summer next year, Eli on the shit, Chase doing what he's going to do, all of those elements. We have a year to prepare for that. And like, how are we going to maximize that? Because we're only going to get this lightning in a bottle strike one fucking time. So how are we going to make the most of it? Are we going to just all piss and moan and not let anything happen? Or is somebody going to work together to try to figure out how we're going to make the most of that opportunity, get everybody what they're supposed to get, this, and this? Or are we just going to let this shit slip through our fingers and wait another 15 years for the next wonder kid to come through? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and
what
too,
are we
it's
doing
not
to do
even
this?
like one kid. We need like 2 wonder kids.
And
Which
you got
we
like
have.
10 of them right now. You have like, honest to God, you got like fucking 15. There's a different fan for everybody to get involved in. Like you guys had Jorge on the show tonight. You know?
Dude.
That is the Spanish fan. You know how many Spanish speaking fans there are around everywhere. Spanish people still love motorcycles. Like they do. You know, we just got to stop thinking that it's white people liking this sport. It's just 38-year-old white dudes. Yes, that is the core demographic, but that's not the only demographic.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson's going broke because they're trying to still sell motorcycles to 65-year-olds that smoke pack of Marlboro Reds a day. Those motherfuckers are dying out. You got to find the next. You got to find
They're
the next
gone,
thing that's going
dog.
to keep your
They
thing going.
smoked themselves.
Yeah, now it's all vapes.
But not just but not just in the hey, we need your money, but like we want to show you why motorcycle riding is cool. Like how could you get so into this and love this and like want to? There was a lot of fucking fans yesterday at the races when it was 115 degrees, and what I said last week, like horniest national at the SoCal round. Whoa, dog! A lot of hotties, a lot of well-dressed hotties, like ready to flaunt it yesterday at Hangtown, and like
that's outdoors.
That's
for
awesome,
you, bro.
That's all, dude. And it's only going to get better because there's really very few other sports where you can put 25, 30,000 people on a hillside, cut them loose, let them get drunk, burn a bunch of gasoline like that. And there is no restriction. You know what I mean? Like we are very lucky that we have that, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah. Sorry
and
for
we
the
can
rant.
and we can even do it in a state park, you know, like Hangtown.
There you go.
Dude, and they love it, dude. The rangers that are there, the people that take pride in it, the dirt diggers people that, you know, the last club to put on a race. Everything else is the track or the people that are within the MX Sports program, which I don't say that in a conspiracy theory way, but like, you know, that's people that it is their business to run a track and host a pro race. The dirt diggers is just a bunch of homies. It's just a bunch of NorCal people that love what they get to do.
Yeah.
And so Friday, I'm standing at the first turn where that little floater to the right fadeaway jump is.
Yeah.
And there's just an old guy sitting there on a TTR 125 in a dirt digger shirt. And I had heard about like some of the stuff that had been happening to get the track ready, like water main breaks. They've hauled in a bunch of sand, all the stuff that they do to try to make that one race weekend pop after having an amateur weekend the week before.
Yeah.
So I just looked at this old dude and I'm like, hey man, just want to tell you guys, thanks for what you do for us. Like, you know, having us come here, all of the effort that you do to do this, all of your kids, all of your family members that work the event as volunteers to make it a success. Like, really appreciate what you guys do as the last club. I had no idea who this was. It's the president of the Dirt Diggers. And he's like, yo, thanks, dude.
Let's go.
I had no fuck. had no idea that it was Warren, the president of the Dirt Diggers, that has been a member of it for 14 years and has been doing this. And he was just like, yo, thanks, dude. We appreciate that. And then some kid in the SMX combine class cartwheeled down the hill. So he had to take off to go help them. And then he came back and talked to me again. But like, okay. Into the whole thing of like, you don't think like at the Dirt Diggers, that's a big diverse thing. There's diversity for everybody that's in all of that stuff, man. Like,
yeah,
we have such a cool thing to enjoy and do it. And like, you know, how are we going to maximize that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
And just enjoy it, dude. And like, look, we ain't going to make $1 million off of it. So just enjoy riding with yourself and your buddies and your friends and talking shit with your brother like you guys are. Because that's the best part.
Well, we are going to make millions off of it one day.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a way. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to find a way. Track Talkers worldwide, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Pat McAfee, you better watch out, my dude.
All right. Well, let's bring it into the last segment. That last one was brought to you by California Coast Plumbing in the trenches. But let's finish this last segment off. X brand, does a zebra keep his stripes? Moving forward, who are we talking about?
Chance Hymas.
Oh.
My dude.
Oh.
We got medical leave from Moto 2.
Oh, dude.
What is happening?
I don't know, bro. I love Chance Hymas.
We didn't even crash, and we crashed off the track.
I really like Chance Hymas. I do. He's a good kid. He's always been cool to me.
He's super quick.
He's super quick.
Super talented.
Dude, puss move, right?
I mean, not really. I mean, I don't want to see him, all dead on the side of the track.
Well, dude, if you can't, I don't, it's a hard.
Bro, and two, like, as far as
we definitely don't want to see that.
As far as I know, like, when you get heat stroke once, it's hard to recover from when your body gets into that mode.
Yes.
So, like, by all means, you got to make sure your temple is still kicking at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's number one, right?
So, but, we got to figure this out. I mean, there's 30 other 9 riders that figured it out.
Yeah, and the hard part for me is, like, he's talking about how they talked about on the broadcast this last week, where it was like, oh, yeah, I knew I just didn't have the bike to handle it, and I knew it would come unwound at some point at Paula. It just came unwound
who
earlier.
Said that?
Hymas did. He didn't say those exact words, but the gist of it was like, I was out front, I did my job, but I knew I kind of didn't have the bike underneath me to get the job done and win the race.
Also, it doesn't seem like he has the fitness, though.
Yes, that's where I'm going to is like, dude, okay, so you didn't have the bike underneath you, but why is Joe doing better than he's ever done too?
Yeah.
And that's a hard situation. It's like Hymas has put himself already in to a corner this outdoor season where he's like just completely out of the championship.
Already.
Yeah. I mean, it's done. To me, all he's looking for now is just maybe pull off some wins in the next 5 rounds after
I was looking at the results, bro. Like the third guy in the championship is already like 32, 33 points down.
We're almost a moto down 2 rounds in.
Yes.
Dude, 450 class is like, what, 16?
Mm-hmm.
Not good. I know that Jorge Prado is already, 38 points down from the championship?
Off a Jett.
Yep. 37 points back off a Jett in 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Fudge sickles.
And if you go 1-1, you're only making up, 6 points a round?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough it's tough to make up points on people that win.
Well, not only that, but it's also tough to make up points on people who are consistent. And right now, Jett and Deegan have just been so much more consistent than anybody else on the track. It's insane.
Don't even put Jett in the same category as my boy Deegan, all right?
Oh, what? Jett now you're a Deegan fan?
Jett went 3-1, okay,
true,
for the overall.
That's
my boy went 1-1-1-1 for 1.
Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Hymas keeping his stripes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want these to be new stripes that he's developing of like.
What do you mean new?
Well, that's why I'm saying he needs to change his stripes.
Come on.
He's very injury prone, that we found out. He's very quick, and I don't see a stripe that says consistency. And he needs to develop that stripe, and it needs to be the core value of his racing career.
Yeah. Anton, we look at this from a rider perspective all the time. You know, like we're looking at Chance Hymas, and we're looking at his bike, and, you know, we're looking at the actual excuses behind the scenes. We're looking at all that stuff. From a media perspective and from being in the industry that long, like, what do you see that is just, what does Chance need to do to win this championship? Like, even right now, what do you
Bro, stop
think he
even
needs?
say winning this championship. Let's just put fucking 6 rounds together.
Okay, let's say, what does he need to do to get a win at one of these rounds?
Eliminate whatever it is that, like, I wouldn't say it's not distraction or whatever it is, but whatever the disruption is, you know, with the injury, and like easier said than done. But being sick last week, like, it sounded like a lot of people were sick this week, you know, from like just being at the races and stuff like that. So then him coming into the race under the weather, having all of those issues, like,
dude,
they all just seem to
Deegan,
time up at the worst time. They all seem, yeah, you know, Hayden was sick, said he had allergies, said he wasn't feeling good, whatever. But like all of Chance's stuff just seems to come at the worst time. And like, it's interesting that you said that about the bikes deal, because, you know, what we talked about on the show last week, where it was, you know, him shooing Hayden off the podium and how pissed off that made Hayden and how that set the tempo for that whole day. Dude, that was homeboy shaking out the arm pump because the bike setup was wrong. Like, he could only muster it for a lap. He told me that. No, he straight up told me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he wasn't even, supposedly he wasn't even waving him?
He wasn't even, no, dog, he wasn't even doing anything towards Hayden. So this was like how this all went last week.
Oh, geez.
I knew that Hayden was mad about it, like the shooing off the podium. And then on Sunday, as I'm traveling home, somebody from Star like kind of rewatched the video, and they're like, yo, he didn't shoot Hayden off the podium. I think he had arm pump, but I hadn't seen the clip yet. So then I got home and I rewatched Race Day Live, and then I saw Chance do the double handshake like immediately as soon as he parked the bike. And I was like, oh, dude, homeboy had arm pump. He wasn't like aggravating anybody. He had no idea. He has no idea that he like infuriated the monster by just like, oh, fuck, man, I just couldn't even hang on to the twin walls. Like, has no idea. And so then I saw him on Friday, and I was like, hey, did you have arm pump when you did your hot lap last week? And he's like, yeah, that's why I shook my arms out. I was like, you are kidding me. And he's like, no. And I was like, you have no idea what you did. And he's like, no, I had no idea. And I was like, I love it. So then did you hear when Hayden did his fast lap yesterday?
Oh, 1,000% we all heard
and I was just like, dude, you're still pissed about something that wasn't like full on Michael Jordan. Like, I watched The Last Dance a couple weeks ago just to rewatch it again.
Yeah.
And where Michael Jordan would find that stuff to just piss himself off, I was like, wow, man, that kid really does that. So for Chance, like in all of that stuff, he's got a lot of shit to work through. Get better. Get this bike setup thing figured out, because like they're still trying to figure out this Honda, and he's definitely had a couple like stepping stones in figuring that out, because he was gifted what was, you know, Jett and Hunter's championship winning bike, and everybody just expects him to jump on that thing and just tear it up. And that didn't happen, and he got hurt, and like he had to figure out a bunch of health issues and stuff that all these other dudes have gone through, but Chance had to figure it out for himself too. Yeah. And then now, I agree with what Ty said. Like, it was hot as hell yesterday, dude. It was fucking hot. Yeah. And he can't torch himself right now and then not only ruin this week, but the week after that. Because, like, remember there was a time when Eli Tomac couldn't handle the heat, you know, because Eli cooked himself a week after he won his first ever Pro National in Texas. And then it was just like, oh, man, this kid, what's he going to do? Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
You know, but what was crazy about it, like hilarious. And this is another thing, like I'm not riding Deegan, but just like how much that looks like is just like, he has just infiltrated my brain sometimes. I'm cleaning Jay Coop's helmet yesterday after 450 Moto 1. 250 Moto 2 is going down to the line. And Sam, the Fly Racing, like rider services chick, comes in and she starts doing Cooper Webb's helmet next to me. And I was like, oh, how's the day going? She's like, oh, it's good. She's like, but I'm down a guy. I was like, oh, yeah, what happened? She's like, oh, yeah, Chance, like the heat got to Chance, so he's out. But before she could even say that, she said Chance, and I go, is he cooked? And I couldn't, dude, didn't even anything. But that's the first words that came out of my head. I was like, oh, was he cooked? And she's like, yeah. And I was just like, the 5 seconds after I said it, and I'm just doing the screws in the helmet, I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Hi, Mrs. Cook, bro.
It's tough.
I was just like, oh my God.
He has that reputation now.
I know it. Deegan's just infiltrated all of our brains, dude. He's just possessed us.
Would you like another Hayden? Just the boys got this shit on lock, and it's just, you have to be at the races to really see how much it like is working. I go to the track yesterday. I'm parking my car, and you have to turn down the rental car lane to go park. And there's two girls, probably like 18 to 20, probably 17 to 20, like more accurate age range.
Yeah.
And they both have the fucking mugshot t-shirt on. And those are the two little girls working the event with the high-vis vest on underneath their shit. Do you want to know who was behind me in line?
Who?
Jett and Hunter. And AP was behind them. So every fucking racer that came into the track sees the two little girls directing them to super parking with your competition on their t-shirt. How, dog? How is that? I know you got to put it out and everything like that, but when you would just look over and you're just like, wow, even just the little shorty, like, tell me to put it in park over there. I'm rooting for the kid.
I mean, bro, let's put it this way. You don't see, who's the guy?
Lando Norris?
No, you don't see.
Lando Norris?
No, not Lando. You don't see, what's the Australian dude's name that drives F1? Not Lando. The guy that.
Oh, Ricardo?
Yeah. You don't see him with a Jett and Hunter shirt on, but you see Lando Norris rocking the Deegan shirt at F1, bro.
That is true.
I
thought it was Lando Norris.
Lando did.
Yeah, Lando wore it.
Daniel Ricciardo is like a big time motocross, supercross fan. And
he's in the Hunter camp, in the Hunter Jet camp hard.
That's what I mean. And you still don't see him repping nothing like that. Nothing Jett or Hunter.
That is true.
Oh, no, he does. No, he did. No,
he did? At the race.
Dude, Hunter's whole like Paris Supercross setup last year was Enchante, like Daniel's clothing line.
No, I know that, but you don't see Daniel in reverse.
Kinda, because like he's been rocking a bunch of like Alpine Star stuff, but no, you're right. No, like team merch. Good point on that. Yes.
Did you see Lando Norris or did you miss that?
Oh, I saw it. Oh, fuck yeah, I saw that.
Everybody's seen that. I mean, that's like next level.
Doug, did you see the little TikToker that apparently broke up? What's the fucking blondie with the big jugs and the goofy looking British guy that everybody was like fawning about a couple months ago? Apparently the girl that broke them up put her in a Hayden Snapchat. Like her and a Hayden Deegan t-shirt on Snapchat. I'm so sorry I'm bad with names. The Sydney girl, Sydney Sweeney. And then that British dude. Apparently the girl that like broke them up a couple months ago, like after it happened, had the hoodie or something and she posted it in her TikTok or in her Snapchat. Some shit like that I heard. That could be like far off rumor, but my old lady told me that.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
My old lady are keeping me in the loop.
Hey, the old ladies have it on tabs, bro.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Wow. That's tough. I'm glad I didn't have to go against Deegan. That's all I got to say. Right?
I mean, bro. Yeah, if I was in the 250 class, it would be tough.
Oh, you better have a lot of fun because if not, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah, you better just get ready.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. Is there anything else, boys?
Yeah. When do you guys think Chase Sexton's going to be back? And if he does come back, like, what are we
Did we not call that one?
I don't know.
Oh, you weren't here. Alex filled you in because you were camping.
Yeah, I was camping with my wife.
I called that. I called that. I said I'd be very surprised if Sexton shows up. Dude, honestly, I don't know. whatever race he likes, that's next. Probably not Colorado. What's the race after that? High Point?
Yeah.
Does he like High Point? Has he had good results there? If not, the next one after that.
I don't know. Do we see him on a Cowie and SMX?
No.
What about the next outdoor?
I mean, dude, with all the rumors going around,
I don't even know what's real.
I think the
what?
Cowie thing's probably set in stone. We're just waiting to find out. I mean, who knows the real truth? Not us. But shoot, we might. You never know. I might just hit up Beaks.
I mean,
say, bro, what's the deal?
I mean, but realistically, like, are we going to see him back in Colorado?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think you see him back until, like I said, he gets to a good race that he likes.
So like,
it could be 3 rounds.
Mm.
I think you need. Honestly, this is my take on it. I don't think you see Sexton back till he's happy with a setting at least. Not only does he need to get healthy, but they got to go test.
Yeah, but like it's tough as a fan and outside looking in. Like Aaron Plessinger just literally went fast enough on that bike. I know Aaron Plessinger's a lot different, but that bike looked really good for 28 minutes and was going to win the race if he had a little bit more. I don't know. It's hard to just a little bit more fuel in the tank.
I got a question for you, though.
Yes.
Okay. Could you have ridden my bike outdoor the way you rode your bike?
No.
There's
yeah, but your bike, your setting was messed up.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think Sexton thinks about AP's setup?
Oh, for sure.
He's probably like, bro, I can't even ride this thing,
what
bro.
are you doing?
I'm 20 seconds off on AP's setup, even though he could go faster, but it's just not his setup.
I know.
It's just like me and you, bro. We couldn't
tough.
ride each other's bikes. I get on your bike. I'm like, bro, your shit's blown, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'd go on your bike and be like, dude, I feel like I'm going to fucking go Indonesia.
Straight up. So there's your answer on that one. I mean, it definitely was good for KTM Group for AP to go out there. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see him back until you find a track that he likes and a setting that he likes, which could take a month.
It'd be tough.
It would, but I mean, at this point, why come back if you ain't going to win?
This is very true. Because like,
what's the point?
If you're not gonna go get bonus checks and stuff like that, like
what's the point?
Why are we even lining up?
Why are we risking it? We're in SMX. We're out of the championship.
Well,
the only
point
thing left to do
right?
is go beat Jett's ass. Right?
And Eli Tomac's ass.
Thank you. Beat everybody's ass. Sorry to pinpoint somebody. Beat everybody's ass.
No, but the one you said is the one that's the most important.
There you go. Whatever you want to call it. What is the point for Chase Sexton to come back at all unless you beat Jett's ass?
I could see this is just like a hypothetical like vision that I
Please
just
give
had.
him the hypothetical.
Oh my God. Does he imagine Chase Sexton going out practicing at whatever track he's at during the week? And he's just like, whatever my fastest lap time is, I got to be 5 seconds faster than my fastest lap time. And if my bike doesn't get me there, I don't like the setting.
Oh, that's tough, dude. I don't even know what to think after the first round, dude. I don't even know where where do you think his mind was after Paula first practice?
I don't know.
Like, bro, I know this isn't realistic, and obviously it's not real, but I'll bet you, because you're in the heat of the moment and you're so tired, if there was a dumpster with a ramp next to the exit of the track, he would have ghost rode his bike into the dumpster. You know, because you know how you get that mad for no reason sometimes? Like you're like,
when your energy's that low and you're not thinking clearly, yeah, you definitely have some rational or non-rational thoughts.
And you just get smoked. Like if there was a dumpster, he would have just ghost rode that thing and walked away.
Yeah,
right into the dumpster.
Reset that whole thing.
Yeah.
Give me a whole new frame, everything.
$1 million bike.
Yeah.
Just ghost rode it.
I know those things are a whole bunch of parts that we can fix, but nope, not that one.
that combination, those ones, they got bad juju together.
Yeah, we
Take
don't
them
even
apart,
want.
put them back.
Yeah, we don't want to be in Juju's pit because the Juju. We don't want to be on that bike. We don't want nothing, dude. Give me a whole new rig, whole new bike.
Yeah. We're going white plastics next round, like everything.
New vibe. We're out on this one. Wow, we're getting tossed up, bro. The heat from Hangtown's getting to us right now.
Oh.
Cool. All right, boys. Anything else? Are we good?
There was some good like privateer. I saw Dylan Swartz and what was that other? Parker Ross did really good.
Parker Ross didn't even make the night show.
What do you mean?
He qualified out of the LCQ. How sick is that?
That
and
is
then
sick.
Battled Tom Biel on the second moto.
That's even
Is that
even
not
radder.
legit?
Yeah, and then Dylan Swartz got 9th with a 9:13.
Bar X Yamaha. Myron, that's Myron over there, right?
Yeah.
Getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hold on. Parker Ross, where are you at? Parker Ross, 14th overall.
16:10.
Bro qualified out of the LCQ.
Well, there you go. That's why we need to do qualifying on Friday.
I don't.
Probably B group too, wasn't he?
No, I think he was A group. I don't know. Dude, don't quote me. I have no idea. Anything else, Uncle Ty, since you just keep bringing shit up?
Well, I'm just saying we need to shine light on the guys that did good. It's not like we can go back next round and be like, oh, look at who did good at Hangtown.
Okay, cool. Casey
No,
Cochran.
Ty's right, because
Speaking of that, Casey Cochran.
Yeah, he was ripping, bro.
He
Hey, my boy
killed
needed,
it.
my boy needed to let him know I am back.
I love Casey Cochran, dude. He's like one of our first interviews ever.
Dude, he was ripping.
He was ripping.
That might get him a whole nother year on his contract for next year.
Oh, it will. 1,000%. That one ride.
Yeah.
The 2-hole shot thing with that ride, boom.
Yes. That's how quick it is.
Bye. Okay. Anton, do you have anything else? Not Ty.
Okay, so then I got to give like pretty much the whole 450 class props for the second moto because they were slugging it out, dude. There was like a lot of people had left by then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, and I'm watching the race and like, obviously I'm watching, you know, Eli do what he does, watch Jett do what he does, all of that stuff. But the whole, like 12 minutes in, I'm like, all right, man, we're halfway. I could see a lot of guys just start dipping. Like, I'm done. I don't need this. I don't need this. A lot of guys finished and a lot of guys battled till the end.
Yeah.
And for why? You know what I mean? Like pride and all that stuff. But just to see everybody go out there and slug it out, dudes in 27th place, all those Euros that have to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit and understand what 100 degrees and all that shit is. And like all of that. Like
Oh, that's
just
hilarious.
grinding. Like
That is
dude,
hilarious.
and it was fucking miserable. That second 450 moto was miserable because like you and I talked yesterday on the phone, but when you come down Big Mo and you know, that's all that rice hole and a bunch of sand and all that stuff that's been mixed in and it's all soft.
It's
And then you
so
get down to that
hot.
bottom. It's so hot, dude. All that heat is radiating, just all of it. It's dusty, all of that stuff. You get down to that tight right hairpin and it's just soft, like looks like red bud loam. And you're just like, hell yeah, that's tight.
Dude.
You make that turn and 15 feet later, you're spinning up on your paddle tire up a concrete 25-foot triple uphill wall jump. And you're just like, what? Go to the top of that hill, turn around. The opening lap of 450 Moto 2, I just remember turning and looking up the hill. If you were 15th place back, you were basically at Dakar because it was just a dust cloud. And you're just like bombing down that hill of like, man, I hope nobody eats it. And then you just kept it going. Like all those dudes, I love it, man. I yesterday was so hot and all of that stuff. And like, I definitely had to psych myself up a couple times. Like, don't be a bitch, just go out and enjoy the heat. But like, I can't wait for this summer because everybody's ready for it. It's so sick right now.
Dude, Ty,
Yeah.
you know when you look at asphalt and you and it's really hot out and you see the
and
waves of
yes,
shit. Dude,
radiating heat.
Anton couldn't even take pictures because that's the whole track at Hangtown. It's just so fucking hot there all the time. It's just radiating heat, dude. Every picture from the second moto is abstract because of the heat.
Was that a bullshit answer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, dude, there were fucking no, for real, there were cameras overheating.
There was,
for real, dude, people shit. Oh, dude, yeah, people shit's like, yo, give me a piece of ice. I got to take my battery out. Like, all that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
100%.
Addy, I love how
Yeah.
Addy was just straight
let me just tell
BSing right
you-
there. But he was like, Michael's like,
You-
actually, no, actually.
No, you will see a lot less slow-mo footage from 450 Moto 2 this weekend because everybody's shit would have just like
Clapped.
overdone. Clap, done. Circuit board's frying.
Oh.
Bro, it is something different, though, about Hangtown, man. It just radiates heat
Well,
out
because
there.
it's in that pit and there's no airflow.
There's nothing. Just
And then you face
stagnant.
the sun all day.
Yes.
You're in the sun, no shade. But then once the sun comes over that hill, like after 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, you're in it all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like what I said last week was so sick at Paula, where it was like 75 and you could feel a sea breeze come through the valley, like all down the 76 to there.
Yeah.
No breeze yesterday. No breeze.
Not
Probably
even-
for the
yeah.
better because it would have just been blowing that dust around. But the couple times that the blast furnace, like 3 mile an hour, 115 degree heat did hit me in the face, I was like, oh, that's nice, I guess.
Oh, I
And then
love it.
another thing I want to mention, the track crew.
Oh,
Shape-
okay. Tell
Yeah.
me something else.
Schaefer Tracks, bro. They did a phenomenal job on the track, I thought, with
They
the
did.
heat
Yeah.
and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of people doing fire hoses and stuff like that. It wasn't all this Schaefer and Lando and stuff like that. But I felt like the track was really good.
For Hangtown and for that amount of heat, that track was insane good.
And I liked how they placed the sand like strategically in like certain areas to make sure they could prep it and, make it flat again. And I liked how they prepped
The lip.
lips and some straightaways and some sections to give the riders some flat, fast areas. Like the whole track doesn't need to be just crazy,
Dude,
rutted and rough.
I was super impressed because I was watching the TV and I'm like, dude, somebody's going to eat shit on that off-camera table after the start if they don't prep that. Sure enough, right after I was thinking it, they prepped it.
Mhm.
After the start, you do that single down the hill and then you make the left sweeper to the top.
Yep.
Sure enough, the next moto, they had ripped it, rewatered it, rewatered it, and flipped it and made the dirt good at the top of that hill to make it so the guys weren't just off the top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So good job to Schaefer. It's like one of those things where you're just kind of working with worst case scenario and you're trying to make the best out of it. And they did a good job for sure.
Yes, 100%.
They did a great job because they had water main issues. It sounds like a couple
Mhm.
days ago, or at least some point in the buildup, they didn't have as much water to get onto that place as they normally would. And like, you need everything there because then, and especially what you guys know, that still rock hard underneath all the soil you put on top.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
dry.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
And they're in for the next one too. So Schaefer's got Thunder Valley, and then
Yeah,
they'll
they're-
do Millville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're already there. Getting ready for this weekend coming up.
Yeah, we love
I love that
Schaefer.
piston bully.
Say that again.
That piston bully, the grader that they use for the start and the first turn, that thing is so sick.
Oh, yeah, that
the
snowcat.
snow track.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all Landon. He's like really in with those guys, and that thing's sick.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they had the big speaker banners were piston bully wrapped. So that's tight. Good for Landon to get that in because like I stopped and talked to Shane and Landon on Saturday morning, and yeah, they crushed it.
Nice.
Pretty
Hell yeah.
awesome for sure. Yeah, well, that's it, boys. Great show. Hangtown round 2 wrapped up. Looking forward to Colorado round number 3. Hopefully we can get Eli Tomac up there in his home state going 1-1 and putting some points on the board on Jett, but we'll have to wait and see. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for the comments and the likes. You guys have been absolutely amazing on the last couple episodes. Please keep that up. Yeah, if you haven't, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Tell your mom, tell your friends, tell your grandma, grandpa, dad, uncle, brother, sister. Anything you got, please shout us out. We appreciate every single one of you supporting the channel so much. At the races, swing by, say what's up to Anton, shout out some track talkers, and we'll see you guys next week on episode number 3. Peace.